guys asked me for advanced jazz guitar chords for comping, so I'm glad to share my most sophisticated voicings with you today. Hi fellow jazz guitar nerds, Sandra Sherman here, greetings from Austria. In this jazz guitar lesson, I'm going to be showing you modern sounding guitar chords over the 2-5-1 progression. I'll explain the theory behind these voicings and show you how to achieve great voice leading. These new jazz chords will raise your playing level to new heights. Of course, you'll also get to hear them in context to a backing track. I've made chord diagrams for all the examples in this tutorial, including 3 bonus chord sets, which can be downloaded from the description box below this video. Please read the important sentence next to this link. Alrighty, let's get ready for some cool sounding jazz guitar voicings. I'll use the key of G major for the entire video. So we are A minor, D7 altered or whatever I come up with, and G major. All right, let's start down here on the fretboard and work our way up so you have all the positions covered. All right, of course I have an open A minor here, and what I do is I add a 9th to that simple A minor chord. So I have 2 A's here. I sacrifice 1 because I don't need to, and I use that 9th here. So what I get is a really beautiful sounding A minor at 9 chord. All right, A, E, B, C. I do not play the upper E string, okay? Just the inner 4 strings. For the 5 chord, D7, I use an altered chord derived from the melodic minor scale. I play a D7 flat 13. Okay, I have the 7th in bass because I don't want to jump from the A in bass to the D. Okay, of course that's possible, no problem. But I have the 7th in bass here. Then here's the 3rd. And then I have a flat 13, which occurs in the D altered scale, which is the 7th degree of the E flat melodic minor scale, okay? And the D is on top here, the root. So this is a cool sounding altered voicing. So instead of playing your usual D7 sharp 9 or flat 9 here, you could try playing a D7 flat 13 chord, okay? And for the resolution, I play a G major 13 chord because I do not want to have the same top note here again. I could do that, but it's boring. I want to have a good voice leading, and that means I want to move my top voice, at least the top voice, a little bit. And so I take the 13 here and have a G major 13 chord. G, F sharp, that's the 7th. B, that's the 3rd, and that's the 13th on the, that's the E. And then, because I have 2 bars in a 2-5-1 of 1, I play a G major Lydian chord. And I know, of course, that Lydian is the 4th degree, but this is modern jazzy kind of thing. You can play the 4th degree instead of the 1st, okay? And the only difference is the sharp 11th. So I have a C major 7 here. I guess you know that chord. G, B, D, F sharp. And what I do is I exchange the D for a C sharp. This gives me a G major 7 sharp 11 or major 7 flat 5, but I wouldn't think about it that way. I think Lydian, so it's G major 7 sharp 11, because theoretically there could still be a 5 in there, so I don't want to say flat 5. but sharp 11. All right, so I go from here, and also my top voice moves like this. F sharp, that's the same F sharp, right? So I have a perfect voice leading. Just look at the top note to D. That's my voice leading. All right, so here's the progression in slow tempo again. 3, 4. All right, here's our next position. We are now between, well, I start around here and I end up around here. So this is our next position. For the A minor chord, I'm thinking melodic minor, and I can add a major 7 because that's what happens at the first degree of a melodic minor scale. So A minor major 7. And actually I'm thinking this A minor 11 chord, and now I exchange the 7th for the major 7th. Here we go. For the 5 chord, I just glide over here and bar. I have my D in bass. Then I have a sharp 5, the flat 7th and the 9th. So this chord is a D9 sharp 5 chord, or maybe flat 13 chord. That would be about the same thing. I'm thinking here a whole tone halftone scale. D whole tone halftone scale has exactly this chording. It has a 9th for the whole tone in the beginning of the scale, the E, and it has a sharp 5 or flat 13. But since there's already a 13, I call it a sharp 5. So D9 sharp 5. And for the 1 chord, I again play Lydian, G Lydian. I'm thinking this inversion, G major 7, B, G, but then I don't play the D, but I play the C sharp, which is my sharp 11th. And here, of course, is the major 7th. So I get this voicing. Let's check it out. 7, 5, 6, 7th fret. And then for the second bar, I add some of my basic movements. This is a G, actually power chord with the B in bass. The same thing as this, but with the G out. I just want to make a little melody. G, G major 7, and G6 by lifting this and barring. Oops. Here's the 6th now. So I have this added a little melody. Alright, we are in this position now between the 7th and 10th fret, and first chord I was thinking a regular minor 7 inversion, A minor 7, here's the root, but to make it more hip sounding I added the major 7, so A minor major 7, that's the first degree of the A melodic minor scale. Where is the 7th here? The 7th is the G, so I raise it to a major 7th. And this is what I get. C, that's the 3rd of the chord. The root is A. The E is the 5th, and the G sharp is the major 7. So that's just an inversion of an A minor major 7 chord. Simple as that, but sounds awesome. Then I'm thinking D7, then I play D7 sus4 flat 9. I have a D, the root of course, C is the flat 7th, flat 9th, and the sus4. Where does that chord come from? That's the second degree of the C melodic minor scale. For this chord progression, for this example, I'm using 3 different scales. That's important if you want to solo over that. So this one is the second degree of the C melodic minor scale, and this one has that flat 9 sus4 chord. All right, and look at what happens to the voice leading: G sharp to G. And the resolution, I play the third degree of the E melodic minor scale, and that's a G major 7 sharp 5 chord, a very modern chord. Sounds awesome, but it's simple to fret. It's, I think you all know that G major shape. G, B, D, F sharp, and now all I do is I change that D for a D sharp. Right? It's also a cool ending chord, by the way. So this one comes from the E melodic minor scale. That's the third degree of it. All right, so here's the progression at slow tempo. A minor major 7, D7 flat 9 sus4, G major 7 sharp 5. For our next chord set, we are up here between the 8th and the 11th fret, and my thought here was having a constant pedal bass note, which is D here. All right, so I'm starting with an A minor triad, actually A minor 7 3-tone voicing. That's the third of the chord, the 5th and the 7th, C, E, G, and the 11th in bass. So that makes it a D9 sus4 chord, or an A minor 7 with the A minor 11 with the 11th in bass. Then I go to a D7 flat 9 flat 5 chord. That's one of Joe Pass's favorite chords, or was. And all I do is flip my fingers here. Can you see that? So what changes is the 9th becomes the flat 9th, and what was the G, the 11th is becomes the flat 5 now. So D7, flat 9, flat 5. All right, and this chord comes from both the altered scale and the halftone whole tone scale. All right, and all you have to do is flip your fingers, and that's perfect. You could also think, for a second degree chord, for a Dorian chord, you can always play a sus chord. D9 sus4 is the same as an A minor. So mixo with a sus in there is about the same as a Dorian chord, all right? And then I go to the one chord, that's the G major chord, but I play, this is a G major 9 chord, all right? G, B, F sharp, and A. But I played with the 5th in bass, so I have the D in bass again, and then I change over to that G major 7 voicing, just a simple G major 7 with the 5th in bass, the D in bass. So D, B, F sharp, and G. All right. So here's the entire progression. The 2 chord, which is the same as the 5 in sus, then flat 9, flat 5, and G major with the 5th in bass, and G major 7 with the 5th in bass. Alright, for the last position we're up here now. I'm thinking A minor 9, and again I play melodic minor, so I change the 7th to the major 7th. And what I get is this voicing. A in bass, C, that's the 3rd, major 7 G sharp, and the 9th is the B. Then I'm thinking the tritone substitute for the D, which is, here is the tritone, A flat. I'm thinking A flat 9. Tritone substitutes are usually not altered except for the flat 5, because the flat 5 is actually the original root, the D in this case. So A flat 9 with the tritone here with the flat 9 makes it an A flat 9 flat 5 chord. Now, this is not an altered chord, it's a mixture, okay? The 9th is of course not altered. The flat 5 is somewhat. If you relate this to a D, you would get a D7 flat 13, which is altered. And you also have the flat 5 in there, the A flat. So D7 flat 5 flat 13. All right. So from A minor 9 major 7 to A flat 9 flat 5. And my resolution chord is Lydian again. I play this lovely voicing. I bar throughout these strings, but I do not play the C sharp in bass. I start with the G, so I start with from the A string. G, then the 3rd is the B, major 7 is the F sharp, another 3rd, B, and by barring through the top string, I get the C sharp, which is of course the major 11. G major 7, 11, sharp 11, Lydian voicing, and then I just kind of arpeggiate through the strings. All right, here we go. Minor major, A flat 9, flat 5 for the tritone substitute, and G Lydian. All right, let's summarize this. For the 2nd degree, you can play regular Dorian chords with 9, 11, 13 in there. You can also use the melodic minor scale and add the major 7th. So all combinations, minor, major 7, 9, 13, 11, 2. So for the 5 chord, use all the altered chords you already know, mixo chords, mix them. So you have unaltered and altered chords in tones in the same chord. And then for really sophisticated modern jazz sound voicings, check out the melodic minor scale and where do you have dominant chords, okay? And then look what tensions they have. And then use those. For the 1 chord, play a 4 chord, Lydian. And that's basically it. If you want to know more fusion stuff, more modern jazz sounds, check out my solo lessons on fusion, modern jazz, solo licks, and chromaticism. Check out my chromatic lick lesson. All right, I hope you like this video. Please give it a thumbs up, share the love and the knowledge, and I see you next week. Servus, baba.